Howdy, folks, and welcome back to the Vin Man Show, the feel good show. I'm trying to make you feel good today. Anyway, this is part three. No, it's not. I can't do part one and part two. If you last looked at the last two shows, I got all confused on part one and part two, let alone part three. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. Oh, yeah, I should start off by saying, I had one person tell me, you know, uh, you don't know what you're talking about, and you hem and you haw, and you kind of grasping for thoughts, and you really need to write your script down. And he said, when the president speaks, they have professional writers write out the script, and then he studies it and rehearses it, and so when he polishes it, and that's not what I do. Write out script. I don't have time to write this stuff down. That's why I'm telling it to you as it comes to me. But I do appreciate you putting me in the same category as the president. Oh my gosh, I'm going to give a speech now. Speech? This is an episode. Oh my gosh. And so I know I'm not that polished, but I hope I make you smile more than the president. And I was telling you the last episode, to feel good, when you go home from work, don't bring your work home with you. Don't go home and tell all the woe stories. Well, I went to work and blah, 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 blah. Leave your work at the door. I think, that's probably why we have a lot of 5 o'clock alcoholics. They can't leave their work at the door, so they go home and have a few drinks. Then the thinking of work is gone. But don't do that. If you just leave your work at the door. And but then, when you leave the work because your house should be a joyful place. I've told you about joy a lot, and when joy should be? Joy should be now. Now we rejoice in the wonderful new relationship with God. Whoa, is he going Bible on me again? I'm talking about, when I was talking to you before about, in my hospital stay, and I don't really like talking about my hospital stay, and when my life flashed in front of my eyes, and actually people go, what does he keep bringing that up for? And I was going, let me put it this way: it was when your life flashes in front of your eyes, you see everything in a moment of time, which these brains we can't fathom that. So I know my brain capacity had to have grown for me to see everything in a moment of time, like when my life flashed in front of my eyes, and then to try and explain it. And that's what I'm going, and it brought back so many memories about BC, before college, before computer, before cell phone. And then and all these episodes, I'm trying to relay these to you. And um, I remember I said it was kind of like, here's my theory on it. Vin Man theory. No one could prove I'm wrong, but you can't. I can't prove I'm right, but you can't prove I'm wrong on this one. And so, like, it's like I was telling you, like I had the decade of the '60s and the '70s so far back in my mind, and I really hadn't thought about them for decades, and and then when my life flashed in front of my eyes, it was like all this stuff was going on to a flash drive, So it was like, as our brains are like computers, and then all of a sudden I was, brushing death real close, like I was going to be going someplace. It's like, hey, son, pack your bags, you're checking out. And I was going, bags, you can't take anything with you, especially excess baggage. Maybe you could take one bag, but no, you come into the world with nothing and you go out with the world with nothing. But here again, I've told you my theory on that. I believe you come in with something and you go out with even more. And it's a very scientific thing here. It's this true fact that when somebody dies, if they wage you right before you died, then they weighed you right after you die, you weigh 7 ounces less. So when you took off, your body stayed here, but 7 ounces went with you. So they say, okay, you can pack a bag, 7 ounces. You know, when you go on the airplane, you could take 50 pounds in a bag. Here, you take 7 ounces with you. So my theory is when you go, that's why your life flashed in front of your eyes. It went back and grabbed all these good memories, because maybe you can't take all your memories with you, but you want to take the good ones. And if I hadn't forgotten, you know, I wouldn't want to leave that baggage behind. I want to have it all. Yeah, it could be, maybe you do take it all. But anyway, I was going, well, why was all this stuff brought to mind? And maybe that's it, because I could take that baggage with me. And then I was trying to explain, you know, telling you some of the stories that have flashed through, you know, that I have done and that flashed through my mind. And um, and I try not to get too in trouble. And I go back and I look at some of the episodes, and then some of them are too long, so I'm holding off on broadcasting those until people say, yeah, then man, we want to see those long episodes. We don't care whether it's long. And then a lot of people say, they're too long. Keep them short. And if I keep them short, I go, okay, well, now I'm out of time, and I haven't even gotten to a topic yet. And you know, just told you, you know, everything flashes through your brain in a moment of time, and just to grasp that is, you know, a heavy thought. So it just and you know, I'm trying to bring some of these episodes to you in a humorous way that are heavy subjects that aren't too humorous, like, you know, hospital, brushing death, friends dying. Um, and then, you know, I told you I was going to talk about going to jail. Um, but I'm holding off on that right now. It's just, yeah, and then I got off. It was all the times I've been to jail that I brushed with the law, they were misunderstandings, and they let me off. So that might intrigue you to write me and say, hey, Vin Man, tell us about those times. You know, or how come the girly show wasn't on? We want the juicy stuff. Give us the juicy stuff. Well, I will probably. But for right now, I'm trying to keep these short and keep you happy. And you know, because eternity is a long time. You know, tomorrow you'll get another episode, and it seems like we got to wait an eternity for another episode. At least I'm not sending them out once a week or once a month. Every day you get a new episode, and then maybe if I get too tired, I'll give you a long episode and take a day off. But I did want to say, remember I was telling you the other day, a heavy subject about the saved and the unsaved. Those are the two classes in the world. Those are the only main things of the world that we have, that very important. Either you're saved or you're not. And people go, well, come on, you can't prove that. And I'm thinking, you know what? You know, all of our poets have told us that we're sons of God. And God's our Father. Hey, when I talk to God, I say, hey, Father. And he says, yes, son. He calls me son or Vince. You know, whoa, you know, and our poets have told us that we're the sons of God. These are nowadays poets. And look at all the songwritings that talk about eternal life and after death. You know, like when I die, they lay me to rest. I'm going to go to the place that's the best. You know, and then I was looking, oh man, and I just heard a Bob Dylan song. You know how stony of a guy Bob Dylan is? And that's what you're probably saying about me. Come on, Vin Man, you're too wild and a crazy guy to be talking to God. You know, he's not going to use you. Here again, I say he is, and you know, so divinely so. And I tell you, I got some God's business in hand, and I'm telling you about the past, and I'm telling him, you know, about the present. And if you get my book, it'll tell you about the future. Another plug for my book. And if you want to write me, a lot of people are afraid to write to me on Facebook because everybody could see their comment. So why don't you come to my email address? It's the Vin, well, it's LB Long Beach Vin Man, LB Vin Man at Hotmail, I'm hot, mail.com. It's very simple, lbvinman at hotmail.com. And anyway, back to Bob Dylan. And he sang this song where he says, everyone is going to serve someone. Oh, it's a good song. And I was going, wow, everyone's going to, I can't sing, so I just, and he said, yeah, everyone is going to serve someone. Then he's, like the waitress, she's going to serve someone. And the apprentice, he's going to serve someone. But then the kicker of the thing was, everyone is going to serve either the devil or the Lord. I was going, oh my gosh, Bob, you wild and crazy guy have hit it right on the head. And that's the bottom line today. Either you're going to serve the devil or the Lord. And people go, the Lord? Why do they use that term? You know what the Lord means? It means the boss. The Lord is the boss. So anyway, that's the bottom line for today. Everyone's going to serve someone. And I hope you're serving the right person, because eternity is a long haul. And if you're serving the devil, well, then I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of ice cold beer. I don't think you're going to have ice down there. Anyway, come back and see me tomorrow. I'll try and be on an different note than excess baggage to heaven.